Hey, what's up, YouTubers? Long time no talk, long time no see. Hope you guys are all well out there in YouTube land. It's time for a new update video from Toddy Walnuts. I'm joined, as always, by the lovely ladies, Miss Hannah, front and center, Miss Heidi, tucked away in the left corner. I got quite a bit of things to show to you guys today. And I don't know if I'm going to get it all in one video. I may have to break this up in two. I like to keep my videos around an hour or so, plus or minus a couple minutes, but this one may have to be broken up into two parts. And I do have a couple more video ideas that I'm thinking about recording. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Also, I am going to be giving away a brand new Steelbook, so stay tuned to the very end of the video. I'm going to ask a very simple horror movie related trivia question. I believe most of you will get it. If you don't know the answer, you can Google it, and all you have to do is leave a comment in the comments section. And if you do, you will be entered for a chance to win the Steelbook. I'll talk more about it at the very end, so do stick around. But I do have, let's see here, I have a beautiful gift. It was a surprise gift from a fellow YouTuber and a good friend of mine. I'm going to go over that first. I didn't know it was coming. He kind of sprung this on me. It was a huge surprise to me, and he also left a letter in the package. I'll read that to you guys. I have a couple stacks here of Scream Factory. I have a little pile here of Film Detective. I've been picking up a lot of the Film Detective Blu-rays, and they're really good. We'll go over that. Got a little stack here of Disney goodies. I got a couple of graded comics and some horror-themed magazines, Rue Morgue, and a couple others. I'll go over those. I have kind of a little miscellaneous pile here in the right corner. I have two pickups from Vinegar Syndrome. I have a couple of pickups from Arrow. I went really heavy over the past couple months on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's actually the Steelbook that you're going to be able to have the opportunity to win at the very end. So stick around, I'll show you that, and we'll talk more about that. And I do have a little pile of VHS in the corner over there. So get yourself relaxed and comfortable. It's Friday night. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everybody out there. Everybody's a little bit Irish on this day, so celebrate, but do it wisely. Don't do anything foolish. Be safe out there. So let's get into the pickups. Oh, I do have a couple of authentic posters too. I'm going to show those at the very end too. So let's get into it here and see what I got over the last couple months. Okay, so hope you guys got your beverages and your snacks. Get your slippers on. Light a candle for a little of back room ambiance. And it looks like Hannah's trying to get comfortable here. So let's all get comfortable so we can get in a groove here. First things first, we're going to go over this beautiful gift that was surprise. It was a surprise to me. I had no idea this was coming. It's from a very good friend of mine. He does have my address, obviously, and he sprung this on me, and when I got this, my jaw dropped. So if you guys are familiar with this release, then you'll know how rare it is. This is a DVD edition of The Evil Dead, which was only released at Blockbuster Video. Nobody seems to know the quantity that these were released in, but it's a very low number. And you had to rent this and either keep it when you rented it or buy it from them outright, which, if you guys remember anything from Blockbuster, they way overpriced their movies. If you kept it or didn't turn it in, they would charge you like double or triple what it was actually worth. This is the Blockbuster edition of The Evil Dead. And Chili Billy, my good friend, I'm sure many of you who are watching this are familiar with his channel. If you do not know who Chili Billy is, I will link him down below, link his channel. And I do encourage you to go check him out. He's a really nice guy, one of my best buddies, and we've been really good buddies here on YouTube for several years now. I don't even know exactly how long, but he's got a great channel. He's kind of a low-key guy like me, just kind of a mellow guy. He loves his movies. He knows his horror movies. Has a great collection, and he's one of the guys I when he uploads a video, I always watch. Even if I don't have a lot of time, like the last couple months especially, I've been very, very busy. Haven't had much time to do much of anything. You know, I fell behind on some of the TV series I've been watching, and I fell behind on movie watching. But I guess that's not really a bad thing, because you try to find time here and there when you can get it. And the movies that do pile up, you'll have something more to watch on a rainy day. This weekend I don't have a lot going on, so I plan to catch up on some YouTube videos of my friends out there that I haven't been watching much of. And I plan on catching up on some movies. So this was an excellent surprise. So again, Chili Billy, thank you. I do have a package that I'm working on for you right now. So you will be getting some pretty cool stuff back. At least I hope you think it's pretty cool stuff. I think we have a very similar taste, so you should probably enjoy some of the stuff that I'm getting you. But yeah, when you see this on a secondary market, if you can ever see it, if you ever find it, it's usually over $100 for this. It's rare. And even though this is a DVD, the hardcore collectors look for this kind of stuff. The rarity of a release like this is, there's a thrill to the hunt to try to find stuff like this. I knew about this for a long time. I never thought that I would ever really get this. So I was extra shocked and thankful to see that he sent this to me. Not only did he send me with the Blockbuster case and the movie, and this was a exclusive cover. This cover was only released at Blockbuster. He also sent the original Blockbuster 1-week rental DVD case that comes with it. So it's a nice little companion piece to this. So I'm going to keep these both together, of course. These are going to be shelf pieces for the Holy Grails in my collection. And I'm going to go over the letter really quick that Chili Billy sent to me, and then we will dive into some of the pickups that I have over the last couple months. All right, it says, "Hi Todd, enclosed is a very rare and out-of-print edition of the Evil Dead Blockbuster exclusive, only for Blockbuster stores. Not all Blockbuster stores received this edition. I don't know how many of these editions were made, and I don't either, Chili Billy, and I've researched this on my own, and I can't seem to come up with a definitive answer. But I do know that it is quite rare. So, and I don't know how many Blockbuster stores received this edition. I have only seen 5 of these editions. One is on sale on eBay for $150. I believe that. I've seen them even higher than that too at some points. They don't come up very often, but when they do, they're very, very expensive. Enclosed is the Blockbuster rental cover that came with it, and I put it in a DVD case. Awesome. You can now add this rare Evil Dead edition to your Evil Dead collection. Your good friend Chili Billy." So thank you very much for that, Chili Billy. All I can say is wow, and that's definitely one of the holy grail pieces of my collection now, and I'm always going to cherish that. And like I said, I do have a package started for you, and I'm going to make it worth your while, and you can probably look for that probably within the next couple of weeks. I'll let you know when it's on the way. So I'm going to pause it here now. I'm going to take a drink of green tea that I have. My throat's a little dry already. It's been a while since I recorded a video, and I don't think I've talked this much in the past month. All right, let me pause it here and we'll get back into the Scream Factory stuff. Okay, so Chili Billy, if you are still watching, please fast forward a little bit, because this next pile of stuff that I'm going to go over from Scream Factory, I'm going to be sending your way also. So I got copies for me, and I'm going to also get copies for you. So if you want to be surprised, fast forward it till you, I'd say for like 5 minutes or so. I'm going to go through this little stack, so just fast forward past this part. But these are Scream Factory releases, and these are called the Universal Horror Collection. There's 6 volumes total. They're like little box sets, and they each come with 4 movies. And volume number 1, you get The Black Cat. These are all movies starring Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. Next one's called The Raven, The Invisible Ray, and Black Friday. They come in a slipcover, but some of the slipcovers have sold out now, so, and the booklet have sold out. So if you order these now, you may only get it in the blue case. So make sure you're aware of that before you order those. If you don't care about slipcovers or booklets, then don't worry about it. But if you have a little bit of OCD like I do, and if something was originally released with a slipcover, then I have to have that too. So if you're going to buy it on eBay or a secondary market, make sure you ask that if they have the slipcover or not. I'm not going to open all of these, but I will show you how the box sets are set up here. You get swing trays. So you got disc 1 was The Black Cat. Disc 2 is The Raven. So they each come in their own disc. Disc 3 is The Invisible Ray. And the 4th one is Black Friday. It's pretty cool. And in the background it just says Universal Horror Collection, Volume 1. And actually, I'm only going to go through this one. The other ones, I'm just going to kind of zip through and tell you the titles. I'll show you the booklet here. Some black and white still photos. Looks like you have some of the advertisement on posters for the movies. See some of the characters from the movies. I did purchase all of these sealed, but I'm going to show you guys the cover of this booklet again. It looks kind of faded, and it almost looks like it's old and worn, but it was brand new when I bought it. And I've only had these in my collection for about a couple months now. But I guess it's not too bad. There was kind of a design on the back, in the background on that black. So it looks like it's faded, but it's actually kind of like, I don't know, what is that, like a floral pattern or something? Hard to tell. Some kind of gothic imagery. And the outer shell, they're not that sturdy, but they're still pretty good. I mean, you can see that it's already trying to start to pull away on the corner there. Got going on here now. All right, I'm going to pause it, put this stuff away, and then we will get into the other editions, the other volumes. Okay, so everybody's back in chill mode now. And that was volume 1. Again, you can see how they have the poster art kind of displayed on the front. I like that. I like that design right there. Volume 2 has Murders in the Zoo, The Mad Doctor of Market Street, The Strange Case of Dr. Prescription. I don't know if that's the actual title, but RX stands for prescription here in the US. So I don't know if that's The Strange Case of Dr. RX or Dr. Prescription, but that's that. And then we have The Mad Ghoul. And it looks like the movies were from 1933, 1942, also 1942 and 1943. So some of those horror movies were made right during World War II. Here is volume 3, and you get the Tower of London, Man-Made Monster. The Black Cat, which is a different version. It's a different movie of the Karloff Lugosi, The Black Cat. This one's different. This one has Basil Rathbone. It also does have Bela Lugosi in that one. And then you have Horror Island. And Tower of London was from 1939. Man-Made Monster from 41. The Black Cat from 41. And Horror Island from 41. And volume number 4. You have Night Key, Night Monster, The Climax, and House of Horrors. So the Night Key is from 37, Night Monster from 42, The Climax from 44, and House of Horrors from 46. Volume number 5, you get The Monster and the Girl, Captive Wild Women, or Captive Wild Woman, rather, Jungle Woman, and Jungle Captive. Monster and the Girl is from 1941, Captive Wild Woman from 43, Jungle Woman from 44, and Jungle Captive from 45. And the last one, which is volume 6, you get The Black Castle, Cult of the Cobra, Thing That Couldn't Die, and The Shadow of the Cat. So the Black Castle is from 1952, Cult of the Cobra from 55, The Thing That Couldn't Die from 58, and The Shadow of the Cat from 61. So these are really nice additions. You guys have to let me know if you've picked up any of these. It would be nice if Universal or if Scream Factory kept releasing these. As far as I know, these are the only 6 that have been released so far. And we'll do a little panning here of the 6 total. I don't know if they plan on doing more. I hope so, but this is what they have for now. Okay, so we will get into we'll keep going with the Scream Factory stuff. I got another pile here. So I found this alternate slipcover for sale. And this is My Bloody Valentine. This was the alternate slipcover. I brought out my original copy that I had already. And this is the cover that came with it. And like I said, this was an alternate cover, so I wanted to grab that. This is a great movie. I think that alternate cover is beautiful. And I'm sure most of you by now have seen this movie, but if you haven't, and if you like slasher movies, I'm sure most of you do, you definitely need to check out My Bloody Valentine. And we'll just kind of take a look here. And again, I'm sure most of you guys have this alternate cover. I didn't have it, so I'm playing catch up on some of the titles that I missed before. Definitely wanted that one. Normally what I do when I get alternate covers is I just put a blank Blu-ray case inside. I haven't done that yet, but I'll put a blank Blu-ray case inside, and then I'll just put this on my shelf with the other stuff. And so next time you see me do a Scream Factory update overview, you'll see this in there. I also picked up a couple of the 4K titles from Scream Factory that I hadn't picked up already. The first one is Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. Sure, again, most of you guys have these already. And then I also was able to pick up the alternate This was a Scream Factory website exclusive cover for Child's Play 2 4K. So these are the both covers side by side. That's a really good cover right there. Really a nice commissioned art for that cover. And I was also able to pick up the website exclusive for Child's Play 3. And these are both of the covers for that. Take a closer look here at this artwork. That's absolutely beautiful. I thought about picking up the NECA figure that Scream Factory was selling with the burnt Chucky, but it's sold out instantly. I think it's sold out on pre-order, and it's going for ridiculous money on eBay or secondary markets anywhere. And I'm not really the biggest Chucky fan. I mean, I like Chucky. I have a couple things of Chucky here, but there's my soda sitting over there. Yeah, I'm not really willing to spend that kind of money for a Chucky doll. And it's burnt. It looks pretty bad. It doesn't, I mean, it's cool to have something like that, but it's not necessarily something I need, especially for that kind of money. So I was able to pick up Event Horizon, and I got this brand new for about $20, which is pretty good. I love this movie. I think it's great. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It has Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill in it. It's a sci-fi horror movie, and it's very suspenseful from what I remember. And I have to pop this one in again and give it a rewatch. But I was glad to pick that up for like $20. I got this really cheap too. I think this was about $10. Another great movie. It's Stephen King story adaptation. James Caan and Kathy Bates. Everybody knows this movie. I don't really need to say much about it, but it's another good suspenseful movie about a crazed fan who kind of keeps her hero author hostage and does very, very disturbing things during the movie. And Kathy Bates played a great psycho in that movie. And rest in peace to James Caan, who recently passed away within the last couple of years, I think. A year or two ago, maybe. And I keep filling holes in the collection that stuff that got through before that I didn't pick up. I got Vampire and the Ballerina. It says it's a bloodlusting fiend who preys on girls, vampire queen who feeds on lifeblood of men. I have never seen this movie before. It's from 1962, and you can see that it's in black and white. And it says it's a fun, atmospheric Italian vampire gothic piece. So, I mean, that sounds great right off the bat. So I'm in, grabbed it. Here's another one that's very hard to find, and it's become very, very expensive. I actually bought two of them. I was going to gift one to Chili Billy, but he told me he didn't like the movie. He wasn't a big fan of it. He didn't know that I bought this for him. I was kind of trying to, drop hints or get hints from him on what he wants me to send back to him. And I just asked him, I said, hey, do you have the Man from Planet X? And he said, no, he doesn't have it because he didn't really like it. So I have one for a trade at some point then, but this one's very hard to find. It's out of print, and it was a low quantity run. And this one's going for over $100 on eBay now. So I didn't pay that much for either of these. I paid way, way less, but that's what they're going for. They call it a big head alien movie, the take me to your leader type alien, from 1951. And it's a very short movie, if I remember. It was only like an hour and 7 minutes or something like that. It was a very, very short movie. And again, you can tell it's black and white. But that's the Man from Planet X. Another one that I needed, and now I have two. And if anybody needs one for a trade, let me know, because I still have holes in my collection, and I'm sure we can make a deal. Here's one I got for, I think this was under $5. I bought this on Hamilton Book website. And this is the double billing of Misery and Carrie, and I have both of these movies already. But I do like to collect these twin packs and these double features. And so I grabbed it. It was I believe it was like $4.95. So it was a no-brainer for me to grab that. And it's brand new sealed. Here is a really, I'm going to say it, it's a really good B movie starring Wings Hauser called Deadly Force. I love this movie, and this is another one I got pretty cheap. It was under 20. It was like 15 maybe. If you like cheesy 80s action flicks with corny one-liners, then you'll love this movie. I really enjoy it. I watched this one like 3 times in a week. I had seen it years and years ago. It's about a guy who's chasing a serial killer type movie. The movie originally came out in 1983, and they call the serial killer the X-Killer. And Wings Hauser plays an ex-LAPD officer who was kicked off the force. I'm not going to give too much of it away, but he moves out of LA. I believe he goes to Vegas or something. I don't remember exactly now. But he comes back into town, and not only do the cops want him out, he's got to dodge the cops and try to catch this killer. And he's going through a divorce in the movie. He's kind of a lunatic type ex-cop where he does things not conventional. He has like a really bizarre kind of over-the-top way of dealing with things, and I'm not going to give that away either, but it's a really fun B action. It does have a little bit of horror elements that he's chasing a serial killer type movie. I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. I think they were pretty harsh on IMDb. It might have got like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. But I love these kind of movies, so this is right up my alley. This is the kind of stuff that I watched growing up, so maybe you'll like it too. Give it a shot. Deadly Force, starring Wings Hauser. And he was always a pretty good lead man. He never really got big like I think he could have. He never really made it big as an action star. He was just kind of a B movie type guy. Here's another one that was not in my collection. I picked this one up used on a secondary website, and this is called The Leech Woman. I got this one for about, I think it was $12 or something like that. I don't think this one's out of print yet, but it's going to be out of print pretty soon, I have a feeling. So it's another black and white horror movie, 1960. It was gently used, and I grabbed it for a really good price. It's going to fill a hole in my collection. Another one I got for, this one was under 10. It was maybe $8 or $9. The Legacy, I think. It was $10 or so. This is a movie from 1978. How far would you go to inherit everlasting life? When Margaret and her boyfriend Pete have a car accident in the English countryside, the other driver offers to take them to a lavish country estate to make amends. But once there, they are surprised to learn that all of the other house guests are already expecting them. It's kind of a ghost story type movie. And Sam Elliott is in here, a young Sam Elliott, who I think is a fine actor. I think he's great. And let's check out the reversible cover here. Legacy, and I was able to grab the 4K double billing here, the double feature of the Slumber Party Massacre and the Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. I was pretty disappointed that they released this one without a slipcover, but as far as I know, they never did release this with the slipcover, because I had this pre-ordered and it was sent to me without. But you do get a new 2022 4K scan for both films. And there's a couple of different versions you can watch for Part 2. There's a 76-minute R-rated version and an extended 85-minute uncut version for Part 2. And you do get a bunch of bonus features there if you want to pause it and kind of check it out. This is a 3-disc set too, so you get the 4K of both movies, and then you get the Blu-ray of both movies. This is the type of a slasher movie that they didn't care at all if you usually in these slasher type movies, you know, they hide the killer's face. You never know who it is. He's always lurking in the shadows, or he's got a mask on of some sort. In this one, they're like right in your face about it. You know who the killer is right away, and you see him throughout the entire movie. But it's still a good movie. These are not great movies by any stretch of the imagination, but they're fun. They're good watches. I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to keep moving. All right, so for the next little pile here that we're going to go through, these are from the Film Detective, and I know for sure some of you guys know about this company, but hopefully I will make some of you aware of this company, and maybe you can purchase some of their stuff if you find something to your liking here. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to pull from this pile of things that I've picked up over the last couple of months. And the Film Detective is a kind of a micro company, and they take pride in cleaning up prints of old movies and then re-releasing them or releasing them on Blu-ray. A lot of these have been released on Blu-ray now for the first time. And this first one is called the Film Noir Collection, and you get 3 movies. It's a 3-disc special edition. You get the Red House, Kansas City Confidential, which is excellent. All of these movies are very good, but Kansas City Confidential is really good. And Hollow Triumph. And the movies were from, okay, let's see here. We got the Hollow Triumph from 1948, Kansas City Confidential, 1952, and the Red House, 1947, starring Edward G. Robinson. As you can see him right there. And not going to open up all these, but there's the 3 discs. This one in particular is a manufactured on delivery, or however that goes. So basically, when you order this from their website, they will print you a copy of that. So keep that in mind. The next one is called A Bucket of Blood, starring Dick Miller, the late Dick Miller, who was a great actor. This one is not manufactured. Oh, maybe it is. That one is too, yeah. They're not all that way, but for a film from 1959. This was a Roger Corman movie. A lot of you guys know about that movie already. These are the ones I really enjoy. These are the old sci-fi movies. Flight to Mars, starring Cameron Mitchell. This is a special edition. Comes in a black case. I didn't switch that out. That's how it came. But this is a 4K restoration of the movie. And you get a booklet with it. Most of them do come with a booklet. All of the ones that say special edition come with a booklet until the booklet is sold out, just like any other company. That one's a regular disc. But yeah, these booklets are pretty cool. They're pretty good. They're pretty decent size too. It's a really good little company, and I'm glad to support the little guy. I've always been that way. They do have a YouTube channel, and they post movies on their channel, the movies that they own the rights to, so you can go and watch a lot of these for free on their YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, go look for the company called the Film Detective. I'm already subscribed to them. If you like that kind of stuff, go subscribe to them. Check them out. The next one's another special edition called Battle of the Worlds. And this one has Claude Rains in it. Another sci-fi movie. Outer space type movie. 1961. Love it. This one comes with a booklet as well. Not going to go through all the booklets just because I'm a little bit crunched for time. I got a lot more stuff to show you guys, and I would like to get this all in one video, but I don't know if it's going to happen. This one I had already, but I just wanted to kind of throw this in with the pile to show you guys what is available in case you're interested in purchasing any of these. This is called Monster from Green Hell. Again, it's another special edition 4K transfer. Movie from 1957, and this one also came with a booklet. And this is a Bruce Lee movie, but it's not really a Bruce Lee movie. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, the movie's called Fist of Fear, Touch of Death. It's limited to 1,500 copies. Came in the red case like that. It's the 40th anniversary edition. So basically, this movie gets panned pretty bad on everywhere, but especially on IMDb. You can go and read a lot of the reviews there. What they did was they took current actors from this time period, 1980, and they had Ron Van Cleef is in here, who was the Black Dragon. That was his nickname. He was an excellent martial artist. Fred the Hammer Williamson is in here. There's a couple of other well-known guys from that era, from the 70s and 80s. And they had Bruce Lee in this movie with showing like archival clips of him, because he had already passed away. So he's in the movie, but he's really not. They're just kind of showing old interview clips with him and old clips from previous movies that he had been in. So, it's not really technically a Bruce Lee movie, though he is in it. It's hard to explain, but this has kind of become a cult classic over the years. And even though it's panned, a lot of people seem to still kind of like this movie. To me, it was right down the middle. It wasn't great and it wasn't bad. It was just, I don't know if I'd watch it again anytime soon, but I'm glad to have it in the collection. Here's one that I owned already. This is called The Brain from Planet Eros, or Eros, however you pronounce that. Starring Joyce Meadows. She was the sister of Audrey Meadows. And this is another sci-fi movie from 1957. And it came with a booklet. Yeah. See if we can do that again. There's the booklet right there. And then there's a little card here where you can sign up for Fandor. It's another streaming type service. Don't know much about it. Here's one called The Bat Special Edition. Vincent Price, 1959, black and white. Booklet, disc. I'm really liking what they're doing, and they're not charging very much either. But I do remember how Arrow first started, and even Scream Factory. When they first started releasing movies like Film Detective is right now, their titles were somewhat inexpensive, to the point where you can get a bunch of them and not really worry about breaking the bank. But as they got bigger, especially Arrow, especially Scream Factory, they started charging way more for their movies. And now, when the new movie comes out, they're like $30. These are usually around 20, or just maybe even a little bit less. The majority of these movies from this collection I got from Amazon, and I believe most of these were under $20 a piece. Here's another cool one. This one's called Giant from the Unknown, the Deluxe Edition, 4K transfer. Movie from 1958. There's the booklet. I think that cover looks pretty amazing. I love all that chartreuse on the cover like that, that fluorescent green. And we got Ega, the name written in blood. It's kind of a horror movie about a caveman. It's another 1,500 copy release. And this one was featured, I believe, on Mystery Science Theater 3000 from 1993. In 1962 this one came out. It's a long movie, 205 minutes. That's over 3 hours long. There's a booklet. And then here's another one that I had already, and actually this was the very first Film Detective Blu-ray that I've ever picked up. And it came in that black case. I bought this at a FYE a couple years ago now, I believe. And this one's called Frankenstein's Daughter. Special edition. And all of these came like you see here. So I didn't switch out any of the cases. But I think eventually I'm going to put them all in one solid color. I have a bunch of red cases in a box downstairs that I bought years ago, the red Blu-ray cases, so maybe I'll put all of these in red cases just to have them look nice on the shelf. But that is my Film Detective. I'm going to pause it here. We'll do a quick recap. I'll just kind of pan and show you all the titles at once. And maybe I gave you an idea of something that you want for your collection. And if there's something that I'm missing that you have from Film Detective and you think I should pick it up, feel free to comment. Always looking for suggestions. Okay, so just a quick panning here. I don't want to waste too much more time, but these are all the titles I have so far. Now, these are not all the titles they have in their catalog. They do have more that I don't own yet. Don't know if I'm going to get everything from their catalog. Matter of fact, I know I'm not going to get everything from their catalog, but I'll keep buying the sci-fi and horror stuff. And if you guys have any suggestions, I'll check those out too. Okay, so let's keep this show on the road. Let's keep going here because I lost track of how much time I got in the video because I have so many different clips now. I'm going to try to keep it at an hour, not much longer, because my phone doesn't have enough memory to upload more than an hour, and then I have to do it on my desktop over there, and it takes a little while longer. But this is the Disney pile that I have for the past couple months. I bought this one used. It was the Cinderella live action Best Buy exclusive lenticular. I didn't have it yet. I got this one pretty cheap. This is the live action one from a few years ago. And like I said, I didn't have it. I needed it, and I picked it up pretty cheap. Same with this one. This was the Sleeping Beauty. I got this one for a really good price. This one's usually pretty pricey. This is the Diamond Edition that came with the Best Buy exclusive lenticular. I didn't have this one yet. Usually this one, I think it goes around 50, 60, even sometimes $70. I got this one under 30, so I was pretty happy about that, and it's still sealed too. So I thought that was a pretty good buy, and I had to grab it. And then I got a bunch of the Disney 100 stuff for their 100th anniversary. This is the Mickey and Minnie 10 Classic Shorts. I think I showed this one in a video already. This was the first one that they released with that 100 brand on the slipcover. But I wanted to include it in this video just to kind of show you the ones that I have that are from the 100 collection. They have more than this now. There's another batch that they just released on their Disney Movie Club website. So I'm going to be getting those as well. You guys will probably see those in the next update video. This one's Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Zootopia, The Little Mermaid. I believe these are Disney Movie Club online exclusive only. This is Moana. Toy Story. Those are the Disney 100 that I have so far. And like I said, I think they released another maybe 6 or so. Don't know how many they're going to do total, but I have a feeling they're going to keep releasing them throughout the year, so I'm going to have to keep up with that. And then this was the Disney Movie Club selection of the month for February. And I wanted it, so I got it. This is Strange World 4K Blu-ray and digital code. I still haven't seen this yet, but it looks pretty good. And I like these movies that kind of take place in a different land, almost kind of like a sci-fi-esque adventure type movie. And I plan on watching this one really soon. If any of you have seen this, comment below and let me know how you liked it. So that was my little Disney pile. And I also did get the Mickey and Minnie little lithograph for pre-ordering that. I might have showed that already too. And then they sent a couple of, I don't know if these are window clings or stickers. It looks like, it's hard to tell. Looks like they may be stickers. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'll keep that together in my little lithograph binder that I have for my Disney stuff. So let me put this stuff away, and then we'll get into some of my German releases. I'm really excited about this stuff right here. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of this update. So we'll do that next. Okay, so I put a couple pieces away, and we lost one of our co-hosts. So Heidi went in the other room. I don't know if she'll be back. She's pretty tired. It's about our bedtime right now. Not really, not quite yet. Let's get into the VHS pickups. Actually, that's what we'll do. I'll get into the VHS, and then it'll kind of segue into the German editions of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I've been going very heavy lately on the TCM movies, especially the original from '74. It's my favorite horror movie of all time. I've talked about that many times on this channel. I do have a pretty good Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection, and with these new additions, I think I'm going to do another overview of everything that I have in my collection from TCM. It's been a few years since I've done that. I did do that before. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I did a video showing all the different DVDs from different countries and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to do that again pretty soon here, maybe within a week or so, depending how that goes. But so let's see. I was finally able to pick up a really clean copy of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Media, which is one of the more rare editions. This thing is in really, really good condition. This is a VHS from 1986. One of the first original VHS releases of this movie. It's hard to see because I have it in a plastic case here, but usually when you get a VHS copy from Media of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're usually beat up pretty good. You got, chunks of it missing, water damage, creases rippling in the cardboard and all that. This one is really, really clean, and these are very expensive, and they keep going up over the years. So I was finally able to add this to my collection. This is another grail piece for me because these are so expensive. But this thing was, I'm going to say it was almost like new. Really, really nice, clean edition of this movie. So I was glad to have that. It's in that plastic to protect it. Just got that recently over the past month. I also picked up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 from Media. This one's not as in good condition, but I got this for much, much cheaper than this one cost. And I think this one was only like about $10. If I get a better copy somewhere down the road, I'll pick it up, but I'm not really as concerned about getting the sequels as I am about the original, collecting those. But I did want to have one of these in my collection, so it's still in good condition, but I think I paid like $10 or less for this one, whereas this one can go over $100 easy for this. So then I got a Leatherface, which is TCM Part 3. This one is still sealed in brand new condition. I put it in a plastic case anyways, but this one's still sealed, still factory sealed. I got that one for a really good price too. All these VHS tapes are going way up in price. Even the Disney stuff now. It's hard to find some of that Disney stuff for under $10 anymore. So if you guys are interested in the Disney stuff, I would suggest hitting your local thrift shops, Goodwill, stuff like that. See if you can get some of those clamshells before they start going way. I predicted it. I thought it was going to happen. I think those are going to go way, way up in price. They're not going to be, hundreds or thousands of dollars like people predicted 20 years ago, but I think some of them are going to be 10, 15, 20 bucks, If you can get them for $1 or less now, you might as well grab them. I picked up the original Night of the Living Dead on VHS. Got this for a couple bucks. I think it was less than 10. It's pretty good. Pretty nice condition here. It's an Anchor Bay release. This was in really, really good condition. I picked that up. And I also got the Michael Bay 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this one is still sealed. So I was very glad to get that one. just for a shelf piece to collect. Brand new, still sealed. So we're going to pause it here. We're going to get into, I got some Mediabooks from Germany. I got some Steelbooks from Germany. And I got a couple of hard boxes from Germany. So let's check those out. Okay, I do have a little stack of vinyl too. I forgot to mention that earlier. We will check those out before the video's over. When it comes to releases, like a deluxe or collector's edition release of a movie, I really enjoy a Mediabook, which that's what they call it over in Europe, or Digibook, which we call it here in the US. I will say this, and I've said this many times on my channel, that the Germans have some of the finest quality that you'll ever find when it comes to just about anything. Their vehicles, their movie releases, their electronics, everything in Germany is very, very high quality. So when you get collector's editions like this, you get the very best. These are Mediabooks from a German company called Turbine, Turbine. These are all 4K releases of the movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. These are all the same exact movie, just different covers, and I wanted to get them all as a collector. That's what we do. Let me see, I have a cheat sheet here somewhere with all the numbers. Okay, so let's pull this off here, just so I can give you guys accurate information. I do have one opened, so we will flip through it. The other ones are going to remain sealed. So this, okay, hold on, I got these backwards. Let's see. Okay. This edition here, it's still sealed. It's going to remain sealed. This is the Italian cover, and this is cover A. It was limited to 333 pieces. Very, very hard to find. Very low number. And so you get the 4K edition of the movie, you get the Blu-ray of the movie, and then there is I believe it's a 60-page booklet inside. And like I said, we will flip through one of these. All of these have the exact same insides, they just have different covers. So I will flip through one and you can see what's inside of it. But that is cover A, limited to 333 pieces. And I'm calling this one the Italian painted cover. This is my favorite cover. This is cover B. This one was limited to 500 pieces. It doesn't list that on the box, but when you go to the website on Turbine, it has all that information, and I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget it. This is my favorite cover. I just like the way it looks. It's that clean white background. It has the original poster art. That's the original US poster art from 1974. And again, it has the same, you get a 4K disc and you get a Blu-ray disc and you get the exact same booklet on the inside. So just going to keep moving. Now this one I opened and we're going to go through it, but I have two of them. So one's going to remain sealed. This one, it was the VHS cover, the US VHS cover that I just showed you from Media. And this one is also limited to 500. They were selling this one on Diabolic DVD's website, but it's sold out. They don't have any more copies. I believe you can go to Turbine online and you can still get some of these over on their website. I had to order two of these from Turbine, and it took about 2 weeks to get here, which was very good. Coming from Germany to the US, it was, to me, that was great. I think it was about 10 days instead of 14. It was about 10. So this is cover C, limited to 500, and I'm calling this the original VHS cover, the US VHS cover, cover C, limited to 500. And that's the one we're going to go through at the end, but there's a fourth cover. This is cover D. This one was limited to 333. I'm calling this one the Armadillo cover. That's what I have kind of written down here. I jotted some notes. But again, these are all exactly the same on the inside. It just has 4 different covers. And kind of go through those again. So you got cover A, 333, cover B, 500, cover C, 500, cover D, 333. And I'm going to pause it and we're going to go through that edition right there. Okay, let's do a little flip through. This is a great cover, by the way. I always loved that VHS cover because Leatherface's expression looks absolutely loony right there. I mean, that is menacing. So you flip it open and you have the 4K disc right there. I love that artwork too. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Legacy. Now, another cool thing about this is half of this media book is in German, which rightfully so, right? It's a German release, but they also put the other half in English. So it's excellent. It's really, really good. You can see that's one of the original posters. There's Tobe Hooper, a young Tobe Hooper, and there's Gunnar Hansen. There's Gunnar. Rest in peace to both of those gentlemen who made a cult favorite of mine. Love this movie. You know, the thing about this movie is when it came out, there was a big, I guess kind of a big stink about it, but they wanted to make it X-rated, and it's a very tame movie compared to today's movies. A lot of the violence in this movie was implied. I mean, there was a lot of violence in the movie. There was a lot of mostly head bashing with that hammer, that mallet. I mean, he brained a couple guys. He brained Kirk in the beginning. I believe he brained Pam too, didn't he? But yeah, these are excellent editions here. These media books are really, really nice. This is a hard box, a German hard box that I need to pick up. It's pretty rare. I've seen it a couple times. I need to grab that when I can. Still in German here, by the way. Some kind of photos of the family there. Leatherface and Grandpa. Very thick pages. I'm trying not to squeak the pages with my fingers. That's a pet peeve of mine. It's almost like fingernails on a chalkboard. There is the Italian cover. Still in German. There's that cover again that I was talking about. If you guys ever get a chance to watch the documentary about the making of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I definitely recommend it. I'm sure most of you have by now, but there's some really cool stories about the making of this movie and how they had such a low budget, and Gunnar Hansen only had one outfit to make the whole movie. And they said by like the end of day 2 or 3, he smelled so bad that people were getting sick, and he had to keep using that same outfit for like a month to record the movie. And when Marilyn Burns jumped out of the window at the end of the movie, she literally hurt herself and she cut herself. So a lot of the blood that you see on her at the end was her own blood, and her limping while she's running was an actual injury that occurred to her during that scene. There's Leatherface from part 2. It talks a little bit about part 2 and part 3. And then it gets into the part 4, I believe, was in 1994. That's the one with Matthew McConaughey. There's Kim Henkel. He collaborated with Tobe Hooper. They wrote the movie. They came up with the script. They talk a little bit about Michael Bay's remake in 2003, which is an excellent movie. I really enjoy it. And they talk a little bit about Texas Chainsaw: The Beginning, 2006. I thought there was some English in here. I could have swore that there was a... Maybe that was in the... I have an Italian media book too. I think the Italian one has half in English, not this one. I was mistaken. This one's all in German. It's the Italian one that's half English and half Italian. Here's the latest one that came out last year on Netflix in 2022. That's a great photo right there. What a great movie. And then you get the Blu-ray, and you get the bonus features on Blu-ray. So very nice collectible piece. So I have two of these. If anybody wants to trade for this one, the open one, I'll consider any trades. If you have something you'd like to trade, either email me or comment below. Now I have the 4 Steelbooks, also from Turbine. They have the exact same covers as the Mediabooks. So let's spread these out here, and they both have the same letter system. So this is cover A again, the Steelbook. This is cover A. And you can see inside there they have the Steelbook and a thick book on the inside. I believe it's the same book that's in the media book. And this is cover B. That's still my favorite of the 4. I love that. That looks really good. Here's cover C. And cover D. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that all 4 of these are limited to 550 pieces. I might have to double check that, because I thought I had another note card for these, but I think I put 550 on one because I believe they're all 550. If anybody knows for sure, you can comment down below. But those are the exact same 4 covers, just the Steelbook editions of these. Very limited. Very glad to have these in my collection. So let's move on to the hard box. So this is a German hard box that was limited. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo, and it was limited to 131 pieces. I got number 60. This is from a company. This is also from Turbine, and it's a Blu-ray DVD combo, and you have the discs on the inside. Very, very limited, hard to get. I have a couple of other hard boxes in my collection. Like I said, I'll be doing an updated collection overview for the TCM stuff that I have. I may even do that this weekend still, just because I don't have a lot going on this weekend, and I'm not sure when I'll have time again. So maybe I'll do that again this weekend. I also have plans of doing kind of a flip through, which I guess we'll get to that in a second, because I still have some TCM stuff to show. So this is another German edition. This is the uncut collector's edition in the VHS retro design, limited to 2,000 pieces. This is TCM Part 2, and it looks like it's an old VHS box, but there's no VHS in here. It's actually a Blu-ray. It's a 2 Blu-ray set. And it says here that you get the Scream Factory Master in here. So this is just another collectible shelf piece. I got this for a really, really good deal. I've seen this one go for over $100. I think I got this for about $30 or so. 30 to 40 bucks I got this for. It's still sealed. There's some other little stuff in here. I think there's like little art cards or something in there. But right now it's sealed. I will eventually open this up, and I'll do an unboxing here on the channel, but I'm not going to do it tonight. And then here is the Italian media book. So you get the 4K Blu-ray and the media book. Comes in this hard shell. A beautiful edition. I do have the other, this is just for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original from 1974. This company also released a box set that had part 1 and part 2 together in a fatter set. I also do have that. I bought that a couple years ago. I just got this one recently, so to add it to the collection. But here's the 4K disc. You can see in the back there that the Leatherface is kind of looming. That's a beautiful image of Leatherface. And then you have the armadillo cover. You have some of the Italian art. The Italians are also very, very high quality. You get your money's worth when you buy an Italian release, that's for sure. Now let me see if I'm not mistaken. Half of this should be in English. Let me see here. There's the kind of the family photo. Let's see if I can get in there. There's Grandma. There's the hitchhiker, Edwin Neal. Toby Hooper as Leatherface. Jim Sedow as Drayton Sawyer. And there's Grandpa. That's the opening image of the zombie sitting on top of the tombstone, just melting in the hot Texas sun. That scene right there it sets the tone for the movie, because you see this corpse wired to the top of this tombstone, and in the background you can hear the newscaster talking about all the devastating things that are happening around the world. It just gives you that eerie, it sets the tone really well for the movie. Okay, so here's where it starts to get into English. So half of the book is in Italian and the other half is in English. I think that's excellent that they did that. I hope the Germans start to do that at some point, but even if they don't, I'll still keep buying their stuff. And then you get a let's see, that's the Blu-ray for the special bonus feature stuff, and here's the Blu-ray for the movie. And the first one was the 4K of the movie. And a beautiful hard outer shell. Cult Media, Dark Sky Films. You get the Dark Sky Films transfer on this, which I think is a great transfer. I think Dark Sky did a really good job with their Blu-ray and their 4K. That was my go-to for a while. So let me pause it for a second here. Okay, I told you I went hard and heavy on the TCM stuff, and we're going to keep going. I was able to pick up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 from Vinegar Syndrome over the past couple of months. This is a really nice edition. Comes with a hard outer shell. There you can see Dennis Hopper as Lefty Enright. There's Drayton. There's Stretch. Great movie, great characters. There's a Chop Top. Man, just going back and rewatching some of the stuff, some of these one-liners that Bill Moseley had as Chop Top. I mean, it has me roaring with laughter. After all these years, it still holds up. Leatherface comes out of there's like a little closeted area, like a little side room when they're at the radio station, when Stretch is on the air. And Leatherface comes out with this chainsaw, roaring, and he accidentally hits Chop Top on the top of his head when he's wearing that he's wearing a Sonny Bono wig, and he knocks the wig off of his head, and you can see that the hairpiece falls to the ground and it's smoldering, right? And he hits his plate, the plate that's in his head, and he said, he's talking about, he said, "Good thing he didn't mess me up." It was pretty funny. I mean, just the way he said it, I was cracking up, man. But he kept calling Leatherface, "You bitch! You messed up my Sonny Bono wig, you bitch!" And then he says, "At least he didn't mess me up." And I don't know, man. I just found that so funny. After all these years, it still holds up. But this is the kind of the infamous Breakfast Club satire cover. I think that's great. It's a beautiful slipcover. And then I'm sure most of you have this already. I just want to kind of show it. This is the 4K with the black case. And then you get, this is the 4K. This is the Blu-ray, and that's the Blu-ray movie, and this is the, I'm assuming that this is the bonus features. So it's a beautiful set. And if you don't have this, or if you haven't seen the movie, you definitely need to check it out. It's a cult classic, and not only is it creepy as hell in certain spots, but it's very funny in certain spots. It was meant to be a dark comedy from the get-go, but they did a very good job of blending the horror with the comedy in this one. And Bill Moseley steals the show. I thought Leatherface, is that Bill Johnson in this one? I can't remember who played Leatherface in this one. But Tobe Hooper was back to direct part 2. Caroline Williams, who played Stretch, played a great role. Yeah, I really love this. This movie is great. And Dark Sky recently released a couple of editions too. This one is the 4K edition with the beautiful slipcover, so I had to grab this one for the collection. Dark Sky still has a great transfer. Their movie looks really good. You get 2 discs in this one. It comes in the black case. You get the original poster art on the cover, and then you get the movie 4K, and you get a bonus disc on Blu-ray, supplemental stuff. Really cool slipcover too. If you look, you can see the image of Leatherface in that, which I guess is the pupil and the iris. I guess that's supposed to be Sally Hardesty's eye. Really, really nice. I think that's beautiful. And then here is the Steelbook that you have a chance to win. I have 2 of these. One is sealed, and it's going to remain sealed. I opened this one up because I wanted to watch it. The transfer looks great. It really looks good. I'm going to be giving this Steelbook away. So the J card, usually I've been throwing mine away, but since I'm giving this one away, I went ahead and folded it up. I put it inside here in case the winner wants to keep it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's going to be your, if you win this. Again, you get the 4K disc 1, and you get the bonus materials. Disc 2, let me see if I can pull this out here. Oh, my battery's about to die. But I was just saying that this is the one that's going to be for the winner. I'm going to pause it right here really quick, and I'm going to go charge my battery for a little bit, and I'll be right back. It'll be like 1 second for you and be about 15-20 minutes for me. Okay, I'm back. So I'm not exactly sure where I got cut off when I had the low battery alert. So I'm going to kind of start over here again. I'm just going to show you guys that this is the Steelbook I'll be giving away in the little contest here. So we were kind of looking at the inside here, and there's the family photo, or the family dinner at the very end of the movie. I kept the J card. I'm going to tuck that inside, and the winner can do whatever he wants or she wants with it. There is the 4K of the movie. Here is the Blu-ray. This is the bonus disc on Blu-ray. And then it also comes with a little poster here. I'll unfold that. Try to do this with one hand and be gentle. It's a 2-sided poster. So you get that white cover, which I'm a big fan of that image. And then you get the eyeball there. So this is where we'll talk about the contest, and this is just going to be an easy little contest. Anybody can enter, from any part of the world. I'll ship it overseas. So how this is going to work is you can tell me, this is a little kind of a fan-made, kind of a license plate type novelty thing. It says KOKLA, stretch on the request line, 102.5 FM, Red River Rock and Roll. If you can tell me what movie this came from, you have to comment below in the comments section, and you have to put hashtag and whatever the movie is, hashtag and the movie. If you don't put the hashtag, I won't see your entry. You have to have the hashtag in the movie. What I will do is I will put anybody who enters into a bowl, and I'll pull one winner for this Steelbook. So that's very simple. You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to give it a thumbs up. You don't even have to live in the US. You can live anywhere. You don't have to be subscribed or anything. Just put hashtag, what movie is this from? Okay, that's very, very easy. So this could be your Steelbook, Dark Sky. Okay, so that is that. That is it for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff, at least for the movies. I do have a couple magazines. I'm going to move a little bit quicker here because I do have a couple more things to show. And I think I'm a little bit over an hour right now, maybe an hour and 10 minutes or so. So the Arrow video pickups, I got 2 of them over the past month. I got the Vagrant with the slipcover. I haven't opened this yet. I have seen the movie. Scream Factory released this. I just watched this again recently. It's a pretty good movie. Bill Paxton is in here. It's kind of a horror comedy again. I really like that image on the front. And you can see kind of in that eye, you can see Bill Paxton's character. Yeah, that's a pretty cool slipcover, so I wanted to grab that. And then I also got Mill of the Stone Women, it's an Italian kind of a gothic horror, and this is a really nice box set. I bought this used, gently used, almost new, and comes with some really cool stuff. So I flipped the cover. The other cover looks like that, so I'm not really going to pull that out. This movie was actually beautiful. The atmosphere is everything in this movie. It's very well done. And I have the Blu-rays in my player right now. This is the DVD, I believe. Wait a minute. Is it both? They're both Blu-rays. Okay, they're both Blu-rays. That's right, because one of them is the limited edition exclusive, which was the French and US versions, and I have that disc in my player right now. Disc 1 was the original, what does that say? The Italian and English export versions. So I haven't seen that one yet. I only watched the US version from the limited exclusive. But yeah, they really put a lot of effort and money into this release. So you get some art cards here. Beautiful. Some characters from the movie. If you like House of Wax or what was the one with Chuck Connors? Tourist Trap. If you like those type of movies, then this will be right up your alley. It's a very similar theme to the movie, and I'm not going to give any of it away. It was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I had never seen it before, and I just watched it recently. I would give it like a 7 out of 10, and the atmosphere was everything. It was very, very well done. Let me see, what else do we have here? Okay, that's the Blu-ray in the case, and then you get a poster. It's like another double-sided poster here. I haven't gone through this yet. I just watched the movie, but I didn't look at any of the... Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. It has kind of a throwback feel to the 60s almost. Very, very cool. And then on the other side is the commissioned art for the box set cover. Mill of the Stone Women. Very, very cool. And then there's a really thick book, 60 pages. I bought this thing used, and it's almost like it's never been touched. Got it for a really good price, too. I don't know if this set's out of print or not yet. I doubt it, because I think I got this for about 20 bucks, which to me was a steal to get a beautiful Arrow box set like this. But there's there's the typical effort that Arrow puts into their releases. You get really nice stills of the film, you get the thick pages, you get the tons of info and the write-ups that they give you. Everything that you would need for a movie like this. It's absolutely beautiful. See what I mean? That's you can kind of see there from that image. It's a really creepy movie. It's very well done. When did this come out? I would say this is a 60s, maybe mid to late 60s. Let's see. It was released by Arrow in 2021. It looks like it's a 19... I can't read that down there. Does it say 61? I believe it says 61. So I'm going to pause it here, put this stuff away, and keep moving. Okay, and we'll kind of wrap this up here pretty quickly. So I have two more releases to show. These are from Vinegar Syndrome. I got a little stack here of magazines and graded comics, and then I'm going to show you two authentic movie posters. So the first one here from Vinegar Syndrome is an upgrade for me. I do have the Blu-ray of Massage Parlor Murders, which I thought was a pretty good movie. This is the 4K upgrade of it. I haven't opened this up yet, but I do love slasher movies, and this one's kind of a gritty, low budget. I want to say this probably came out in either the late 70s or early 80s. 1973 actually, so it is all region. And that's another serial killer type movie. Sleazy, gritty, good stuff. So back to One Dog here again. Heidi's in the other room. I picked this up used. This is Mutant Hunt, also from Vinegar Syndrome. It's in brand new like condition. Haven't watched it yet. There's a couple of editions that I have to catch up with on Vinegar Syndrome, so this was one of them, and it's the alternate cover. This is a movie from, what does that say, 1987 it looks like. Region A, locked. Looks like it has pretty good practical effects. You can see the rubber suit, a couple guys in rubber suits there. This looks like it would be a fun popcorn type movie. It's a really beautiful cover there too. I like that. Really nice. So those are my two Vinegar Syndrome pickups. I'll show you the vinyl that I picked up. This was one that I had as a kid. I remember my grandma and grandpa bought this for me when I was probably, I don't know, 5, 6 years old. I used to have a lot of vinyl back then. I'm kind of showing my age here by talking about that, but this came out in 1977. This is The Amazing Spider-Man. They used to show little clips of him on the Electric Company. The Electric Company was a children's learning program type thing. It was almost like Sesame Street or like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, something like that, where it was geared towards children, and it had a lot of learning and life lessons type things in there. It had really good characters in there, and then they also had animated shorts that they would show in between segments. And that's where I first learned about Spider-Man, and that's where I first got my love for Spider-Man. And I used to watch a lot of the 1967 animated Spider-Man shows when they were in syndication when I was a kid. Still to this day, he's my favorite superhero, and I love Spider-Man. And when I saw this, it was still sealed too. I had to get it, and it just brings back nostalgia for me. I do have 2 record players in my house, And every once in a while, I'll spin some of these old records, just to kind of bring back that old feeling. You know, it never really goes away. It instantly brings me back to my childhood, and it's a good feeling for me. So this was Spidey Super Stories, and then these were just little shorts that they would show during that program called The Electric Company. So there's quite a bit of little segments here. Morgan Freeman was a narrator. That's kind of where he got his start. So this brings back a lot of memories, and that's a beautiful cover. And this was still sealed. I also put it in a protective sleeve too on top of that. But you can see that Peter Pan was a production company, and they used to release records on vinyl. And you can see here that it still has the Peter Pan sticker. Peter Pan records are your best entertainment value, and it had that little Peter Pan logo. It's long been defunct. They're starting to make a lot of vinyl again, and vinyl is making a big comeback, and it has been for the past several years now, and it's even outselling CDs. So I heard that they're going to start bringing back CDs too, because they kind of started to get away from CDs because everything's digital downloads now, but vinyl is outselling CDs right now. It's pretty amazing. Here is The Shocking Truth, which is a soundtrack for the documentary that was put out a few years back called The Shocking Truth. This was the original. This one I owned already. This one is very pricey, very rare, very hard to come by. They recently re-released it, recut and remastered. I think they added another track to it. Let's see. Which this one is still very affordable right now. It just came out. But let me see. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tracks. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tracks. There was something different about this one, though. I don't recall what it was. This one, I believe, was just a regular black vinyl. This one is colored vinyl. And it says here, Mark Fox's horrifying expanded score. So I think it has the same tracks, but some of them are expanded, apparently. Available for the first time on vinyl. So the expanded scores are available for the first time, but this was the actual first pressing, which was from 2018. 2018 that came out, and this one just came out in 23. It has artwork by Ghoulish Gary Pullen, which, I mean, that cover is way better than this cover. This really is pretty plain to me. I wouldn't consider that art. It just look like, I mean, it's just a couple of things put together. That looks more like art to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I also got another laser disc. I didn't have this cover. I got a really good price on this one as well. And it was an almost brand new, perfect condition, all new restored version, uncut, unedited. I do have another version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Laserdisc. And like I said, I'll be doing an overview this weekend. I think it'll be fun to kind of pull all that stuff out and show you guys what I have. So I do have a couple of magazines here. Okay, let me kind of move these around a little bit and I'll explain to you the ones, how I got them. So obviously these are all used magazines. These two came together in a lot. These two were together. I only really wanted this cover. This is Rue Morgue from November of 2004. And this one came with it. I mean, it's cool. I like to have these magazines. This is David Cronenberg's Rabid. This one is from June of 2004. But I really wanted it for this one, and I'm going to do another video down the line. I'm going to do a magazine flip through of this one. I also got this one. This is Horror Hound number 39. I believe this one is from 2013. Yeah, it is right up there. January of 2013. Another beautiful cover. I will do a flip through of those two. And then I got the Delirium magazine, which is put out by Full Moon. Another beautiful cover. I don't remember the year on this one, though. But we can probably find that when I do a flip through. So I would like to, at this point, or at some point I should say, there's one more thing. There's actually one more magazine, and then there's another something that I would like to add to the flip through. I don't want to say what it is yet, but I'll wait. When it gets here, I'll show you guys and I'll go through that. But these three magazines, there's going to be another Horror Hound. It's not the same as this one. It's a different cover. And then there's another thing coming too. And when those two things come in, I will record a video and we'll do a flip through, a chill video, just going through these magazines. So I'm going to pause it here really quick, put a couple things away. I'm going to show you guys the two posters I got, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right. I guess I was kind of rushing myself a little bit. I have a couple of graded comics I was going to show too. So we got Miss Heidi was back in here. It looked like she wanted to join us. She doesn't know what she wants to do. All right. We'll have to kind of finish this up here a little quick. So this is a graded CGC book. It's a 9.6 signed by Neil Adams. His signature is right there. This is Batman number 50, and it was signed on April 4th of 2021. This comic came out in 2018. This was actually sent to me by Neil Adams' son, Spider Adams, as he goes by Spider. But he sent this to me, so I thought that was really cool. I did order a couple of facsimile copies. This is the very first Action Comics that had Superman in it, and it's graded 9.8 mint. If this was an actual real copy of Action Comics number 1 in a 9.8, it would probably be a $1 million book, literally. This is a facsimile, so that means it's a copy of it. The original came out in June of 1938, but this one is from I think this came out in 2019, but it was graded in 2022. So instead of being a $1 million book, it's about a $50 book. But since I'll never be a millionaire and I love this comic, I wanted to have it, and so I'm happy with the facsimile. It looks really good. And the same thing with, this is the very first Incredible Hulk number 1. This is a Jack Kirby cover. Funny story about this is when the Incredible Hulk first came out, they were going to make him gray, and that's why he's gray on this cover. But Stan Lee thought that it would be a little more flashy if it was green or a different color. He didn't say green specifically, but Jack Kirby ended up coming up with the green color that the Incredible Hulk actually is now. Because they thought it would be kind of dull to be in a comic series and be just a kind of a black and white or a gray character, when it can be more flashy as a green color. So again, this is a facsimile. If it was a real copy, if it was a real edition and it was a 9.8, it would probably be about $500,000 for this book. But being that it's a facsimile, it's probably about a $50 to a $75 book. So those are the 3 comics I picked up recently. I'm going to pause it here and we're going to go over the posters I got, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so these last 2 items are authentic movie theater posters. These are 27 inches wide from side to side and 41 inches top to bottom. And this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3, Leatherface. You can see the creases in there, and I love that about these posters. I got both of the posters together for about $130, so I thought that was a great deal, because the one I really wanted was this one, and this is TCM 2. Same thing, it's 27 inches across, 41 inches up and down, and that's another authentic poster that hung in a movie theater since 1986 that movie came out. And I think this one came out in 1990. So there's some age to these posters, some history behind them. And I'm glad to own them. So I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to do a little wrap-up. Okay, so just to do a little wrap-up here, I want to first say thank you to all you guys who stayed with me, even though I haven't been active on YouTube. I've been really busy, and to be honest with you, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to keep putting up on YouTube or how frequently I'll put them up, but it's going to be much less, I think. I kind of go through phases on YouTube where, you know, maybe I'll feel like doing a couple videos, but lately I haven't even really had the itch to get back on here. So I just want to thank you guys who stuck with me. I have been getting some new subscribers trickle in here and there, so thank you and welcome to the channel. I want to remind you to check that link down below for Chili Billy and go to subscribe his channel. For me, it would mean a lot to me. And if you are interested in winning the Steelbook, maybe you're not, but if you want to show a little support to the channel, maybe you consider joining in for a little fun here. You can win a free Steelbook. Just tell me what this movie came from, or what movie this was in. Make sure you put a hashtag in front of the movie, otherwise it won't count as an entry, because I'm going to go through and count all the entries. I'm going to put everybody's name in a hat or a bowl or whatever and pull out the winner. So very simple. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I always do appreciate that. Take care, and I will see you down the road.